Hello and welcome to Scots United, where I, Scott, and my team of Scots, who are also me, bring you the latest in movies, television, and popular culture. So, we're going to start with TV, we're going to start with streaming, so let's go to Scott.
Okay, bitches. Quasi spoilers for Veronica Mars ahead.
Whoa, he's coming in hot!
Now listen, I don't want to give away all the twists and turns of the new season that just came out on Hulu of Veronica Mars. However, will I say, is this season dark? Yes, it is dark. And does this season end in a dark place? Yes, it does.
Okay, so...
And for those that are all upset about that and that are marking down the last episode on IMDb because they're all upset about what it did, I harken back to like Gilmore Girls when that original season ended. And there are people that are all mad that like Rory didn't accept Logan's marriage proposal, even though that was the right thing to do because he was always an asshole and because he didn't deserve her and she had things to do with her life.
Yes, people that thought that Rory should have married Logan were dumb. Feel free to fight me on this. I mean, she, was going to go, she ended up going, and she was on Obama's bus to in the campaign, and the things she did, except then we had the reunion, and then she didn't really do much. But at the time, it was still the best choice, and I still stand by that.
But the point is, if you're a marshmallow, as I am, a fan of Veronica Mars, that show started out super dark, She's flashing back to being, a rape victim at a party and being shunned by her classmates. I mean, it was never a bright and cheery show. It was on the CW, but they did their best to kind of give it a sun-drenched noir kind of feel, and they succeeded because the show was awesome, and it still is.
Damn straight.
I'm amazed at the complications and levels of complexities to the mysteries that they put together for this show. Is it a little different because time has passed? Yes. Do we miss some characters like Mac? Yes. But I feel like I loved this season. I think it's a complicated and troubling and dark ending somewhat, yes, to the series. Well, to the season, because is there room and a door there for new seasons, for new adventures with Veronica Mars? Yes, which I would like to see. So I am embracing this, and that's my stand.
So Veronica Mars, it's more adult, it's more grown up. I mean, Kristen Bell is 39, so what did you expect? And yes, the show has always been dark and moody and, kind of a gumshoe detective kind of thing, fused with, West Coast sensibilities. And it still is. So, hey, we love it. We will always love Veronica Mars. We are there for it. So, take what you will from that. And now, a movie.
So the big anniversary of the moon landing just happened recently in the last couple of weeks. And you know what? This is a great time to check out First Man. It's currently on HBO.
HBO, not just good for good television shows that turn into soapy messes by the end. Game of Thrones, Big Little Lies.
So it stars Ryan Gosling, and you might be thinking, oh, I love Ryan Gosling. Ryan Gosling's such a good actor, and you'd be right. Of course, it's a shame that he can't seem to open an envelope. I mean, you look at his attempts to make mainstream films, and they just don't usually do much. And First Man didn't do much. Venom last fall was kind of surprisingly not well received by critics, but well received by audiences. The Tom Hardy, Marvel, Spider-Man kind of ish thing. And of course, A Star Is Born blew up huge. And so no one really saw First Man. Neither did I. So I took an opportunity this past weekend to see it with my dad. And I have to say, it's really great.
Oh, Damien Chazelle directed, right?
After Whiplash and La La Land, there's no one that's doubting the directorial prowess of Damien Chazelle. He's a talented guy, and you see that here. It's an interesting role, too, for Gosling, although thinking about Blade Runner, he definitely lately is these sort of remote, not very emotional characters, although he plays it well. And honestly, it's a great ensemble cast. Corey Stoll, who's hunky's in it, And certainly Claire Foy is great. She was talked about for an Oscar nomination. She did get the Golden Globe nomination, didn't get an Oscar nomination for this. Claire Foy, of course, played Queen Elizabeth in The Crown.
Can I just say, isn't it time for a The Crown Season 3 trailer? I've seen images of Olivia Colman dressed as Queen Elizabeth for, months now. Helena Bonham Carter. It hasn't been a deluge, but there's clearly some footage. They could at least give us a little teaser, and as I'm saying this, I'm realizing they may have, and I dismissed it, but I think I would know. I think I would know by now. And if I haven't, it means they haven't tried hard enough to get it out there.
She just has some tremendous moments. And the movie really does just communicate a lot about, the glory of what they accomplished, but also the danger. It's one of those things that, the space race was a real thing, but my God, we really probably could have waited a few decades until, computers were more complex, and it wasn't like something we were figuring out on the fly, which is how it feels like. At one point, Claire Foy's character does make a point about that. There's kind of an emergency, and she knows what's going on. Suddenly they don't let her know what's going on, and then she gets upset, and she makes a reference to, they're all just a bunch of boys playing with Tinker Toys or something to that effect, because that's kind of true. Figuring out, you see that from watching Hidden Figures. Certainly there are, they're figuring out the math and the engineering and all these things as they're doing it, and that's, lives were lost, and we're probably lucky that a lot more lives weren't lost. So certainly a fitting tribute to those lives lost, to the amazing achievements of the engineers and the pilots and the mathematicians and the computers and all the people that worked to make it happen, and an all-around powerful movie.
So hey, First Man, it's a complex, layered viewpoint of the space program, of the sacrifices, of the relationships that are part of it, at the root of it, and, not surprisingly, really well done. So that's our show for this week. Thank you for joining me, and we will return next week with some more reviews.